You're watching News 25. Local coverage you can count on. News 25 is brought to you by J.K. Nelson Law, voted Best of Las Vegas. Give them a call, 702-727-9900.
Thank you for joining us here on News 25 and Ace Country Radio and streaming at KPVM.TV and now on Roku devices on this Wednesday, October 29, 2025. Good evening. I'm Chris Palermo. Here's what's happening. There's been an additional arrest in the Christopher and Catherine White burglary investigation. Haley Grabby reports.
During an ongoing investigation into Christopher and Catherine White's burglary case, both suspects admitted that a third person was involved, identified as Carl Hubler. According to Catherine, she left the scene while Christopher and Carl continued stealing items from the victim's property, including a Glock 19 firearm and a tan 2013 Hyundai Santa Fe SUV. Investigators later learned that Carl had possession of the stolen Glock and sold it for money. Records show that Carl Hubler is a convicted felon who previously served time in prison. He now faces an NRS violation for being a prohibited person in possession of a firearm and for his role in the burglary. Carl Hubler was booked into custody without further incident.
More news now. An 89-year-old security guard was assaulted during a robbery in Las Vegas, and Metro Police are looking for the public's help. News 25 has more.
On October 27th, a robbery occurred in the area of Charleston and Decatur. During the incident, the robbery suspects attacked an 89-year-old security officer while stealing from the business. The suspects are described as follows. Suspect 1 was a black female adult in her 20s, heavy-set, wearing a white tank top, leopard print head covering, black shorts, and Nike slides. Suspect 2 was a black female adult in her 20s, wearing a pink shower cap, black t-shirt, gray pants, and white and red Jordan 12 retro shoes. Suspect 3 was a black female in her 20s wearing a white hairband and a multicolored striped shirt and shorts. Anyone with information is urged to contact the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department's robbery section at 702-828-3591. To remain anonymous, call Crime Stoppers at 702-385-5555.
All right, here's some exciting news for the town. President Donald Trump is considering holding a special midterm political convention in Las Vegas next year. There's a report out today from the Wall Street Journal. President Donald Trump may hold a midterm political convention in Las Vegas next year. That is according to a report on Wednesday in the Wall Street Journal. Trump's advisors are considering other cities as well as Washington, D.C. and cities in Texas. According to the report, President Trump is said to be favoring Las Vegas. In 2024, he was the first Republican to take Nevada in a presidential election in 2 decades. The timing of the convention is suggested to happen around the time of early voting next year, according to the Journal report. Trump said he wants the event to include and feature celebrity appearances like last summer's GOP convention in Milwaukee. The president said last month to stay tuned. It will be quite the event and very exciting. And 2 U.S. Senators, Democrat Catherine Cortez Masto of Nevada and Republican Rand Paul of Kentucky, are joining forces to cut what they call an unnecessary tax on your morning cup of coffee.
They've introduced the bipartisan No Coffee Tax Act, aimed at repealing President Donald Trump's tariffs on imported coffee and lowering prices for consumers. More than 99% of coffee sold in the United States comes from abroad, and under Trump's trade policies, some countries like Brazil, which is America's largest coffee supplier, face tariffs as high as 50%. Those costs have trickled down to consumers, with retail coffee prices jumping nearly 21% this year compared to last. Senator Cortez Masto says the coffee tax doesn't help American businesses in any serious way and only makes life more expensive for families. Senator Paul argues that the U.S. doesn't grow coffee and taxing it won't create a single American job. He also says the president should not have the power to raise taxes without Congress. If passed, the No Coffee Tax Act would restore tariffs on coffee imports to zero, where they stood before Trump took office.
All right, folks, gather up your weeds because residential open burn season begins this weekend. Details from News 25's Mikey Ruhan.
The town of Pahrump's open burn season runs from November 1st through May 15th each year. During this period, residents can conduct outdoor burning, but only with a valid permit and by following all safety regulations. Burning is allowed 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. on weekdays and 8 a.m. to noon on weekends. Each burn pile must be no larger than 3 by 6 feet, located at least 20 feet from any structure, and an adult must remain on site with a water hose at all times. Only natural vegetation, such as grass, branches, leaves, tumbleweeds, and pine cones may be burned. Burning trash, furniture, construction debris, or tires is strictly prohibited, and no accelerants like gasoline or diesel may be used. Burning is not allowed when winds exceed 5 miles per hour or on legal holidays. Burn permits are available Tuesday through Thursday from 9 a.m. to noon. Applicants must be the property owner and bring a driver's license and homeowner's insurance declaration page. Before you burn, remember to call in each day with your permit number, address, and burn type. For a full list of rules and to apply for a permit, visit pahrump.nv.gov/residential burn permits. Officials say the goal is to keep the community safe and the skies clear throughout burn season.
All right, coming up, you'll want to know more about the 30th anniversary celebration of the film classic Casino, filmed right here in Las Vegas. You're watching News 25.
You're watching News 25. Local coverage you can count on.
And welcome back to News 25. I'm Chris Palermo. The 30th anniversary of the film classic Casino is coming up, and well, the Plaza in downtown Las Vegas is celebrating with a special anniversary dinner and talk hosted by former mayor and famous mob lawyer Oscar Goodman. On November 12th, the Plaza Hotel and Casino will celebrate the 30th anniversary of the classic movie Casino. The 1995 film classic starred Joe Pesci and Robert De Niro, playing real-life Vegas mobsters Frank Lefty Rosenthal and Tony the Ant Spilatro. Former Las Vegas mayor and mob lawyer Oscar Goodman will preside over the celebration at his namesake restaurant in the Plaza Hotel and Casino that night with an intimate dinner. Limited to 140 people, costing $530. Guests will hear Goodman's stories during his legendary career as a lawyer for the mob. Plaza CEO Jonathan Jossel said in a press release that the Plaza has always been at the heart of the Las Vegas story. He went on to add, welcoming Oscar back for his dinner series brings historic Vegas to life through his one-of-a-kind stories that only Oscar can tell. Several scenes in the Casino movie were filmed at the Plaza property, and Goodman played himself in the movie directed by Martin Scorsese. Okay, get your costumes ready. It's almost trunk or treat time in Pahrump. This Friday, October 31st, families have plenty of spooky stops to choose from across town.
The fun begins at 4 p.m. with Bikers Against Bullying at Spine and Wellness on Homestead Road. You can also swing by Shenanigans on Calvada Boulevard or the Pahrump Moose Lodge on 2nd Street, both wrapping up at 7 p.m. Then starting at 5 o'clock, the Halloween spirit spreads all across town. Check out D&J Electrical at Seymour's Ice Cream on Highway 372, Faith Fellowship on Blagg Road, and Heritage Bible Church on Heritage Drive, all hosting trunk-or-treat events until 8. You can also stop by Lakeside Casino and RV Park, Smith's Food and Drug, and Petrec Park, all running 5 to 8. There's also Spooky Fun at Spooky Eye at the Calvada Eye, plus FD Candy on Oxbow Avenue and 372 Plaza. And if you're looking for an event that runs a little later, VFW Post 10054 on Homestead Road keeps the candy coming until 9 p.m. All events are family-friendly and free to attend, so grab your little ghosts and goblins and enjoy a safe and sweet Halloween night right here in Pahrump.
Well, it's postseason football time in the 3A Southern Division. The road to the championship heats up Thursday night as the Meadows Mustangs travel to Pahrump Valley to take on the Trojans. Mikey has that and more in sports.
Time now for your News 25 look at sports and streaming at KPVM.TV and now on Roku devices. Jack Eichel scored twice in the final 4 minutes and 59 seconds to help the Vegas Golden Knights beat the Carolina Hurricanes 6-3 on Tuesday night. Yep, you could say Eichel's timing was pretty golden. Tomas Hertl added an empty net clincher as Vegas closed out their second win against Carolina in just 9 days. Over in baseball, the Toronto Blue Jays rode a 4-run seventh inning to a 6-win victory over the Dodgers in Game 4 of the World Series. That ties the series 2-2 and guarantees it goes back to Toronto for Game 6. Or as the Canadians call it, a good excuse to stay up past bedtime, eh? Vladimir Guerrero Jr. set a franchise record for most postseason home runs with a 7th on Tuesday. Switching gears to the NFL, the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Las Vegas Raiders square off Sunday, November 2nd at Allegiant Stadium. And in postseason football, it's the 3A Southern matchup, the Meadows School at Pahrump Valley this Thursday, October 30th at 6 p.m. And remember, artificial noisemakers are a no-go under NIAA policy, so you'll have to cheer the old-fashioned way, yelling until you can't talk the next day. And that's your look at sports on News 25.
All right, thank you, Mikey. Coming up, weather, and Josh Osborne is back here again. He's got a computer tip for you. You're watching News 25.
You're watching News 25. Local coverage you can count on. News 25 is brought to you by Mountain West Lawyer, Injury Attorneys, 727-9500.
And welcome back to News 25. I'm Chris Palermo. Josh Osborne is here again to help you and your computers stay safe from viruses and other dangerous attacks to your hardware.
Hey guys, Josh Osborne here with Pahrump Zone. Great computer deals. It's time for another quick tutorial. Today I want to talk about internet safety. Why? Because it's still a problem more than ever. Guys, there are a lot of people in this world that are trying to steal from you. So you need to have a 1-2 punch when it comes to internet safety. I want to break this down. I want to simplify things. Sometimes the solution with these kind of things is so complicated, people can't truly digest it. I hope that video today changes everything for you. Remember this, the 1-2 punch. What's punch number one? Punch number one is having a good antivirus on your computer, because viruses, malware, Trojans, things like that exist, and when they hit your computer, you're not going to know unless you have something monitoring and protecting you and letting you know when it takes place so you can stop it in its tracks. So always have a good antivirus. Number two, that punch is what I call good old common sense, because the major issue that we see here in this store is not viruses and malware and Trojans. That's pretty rare, actually. What we see way more than anything ever before is scams. And scams come against you in one of 4 ways typically. Number one, they come in with a phone call. Sometimes number two, it's a text message on your smartphone. Number 3, an email. And number 4, a pop-up on your computer screen. Number 1, here's a perfect example. It might be a phone call from somebody posing as the IRS. Number 2, it could be somebody posing as the post office telling you that you have a package via a text message. Number 3, it could be somebody posing as your bank sending you an email asking you to give them over really sensitive information. And number 4, it might be a pop-up on your screen with somebody posing as an antivirus. Are you catching that word there, that buzzword, that posing? That's what happens in these scams. They have to convince you that there's somebody that they're not to gain your trust. They're not going to say, hey, I'm a scammer, give me all your money. They're going to say, I'm with Facebook, I'm with Amazon, I'm with your bank, and we're trying to protect you. They're always going to pose as somebody they're not to gain your trust. Why? Because they need your help to scam you. These guys that we're talking about that are scammers, they're not Russian hackers that are taking over your computer like you see in the movies. That's not how it works. Most of these people are in giant warehouses. They're typically people living in poverty that have been trained to have a silver tongue to steal from you. So they don't have the ability to actually take anything from you unless you allow them to do it. Look at it this way. Pretend you're a person that has a very nice, beautiful home. You want to keep it safe. So you put a nice protection system, a security system all around that home. But in the middle of the night, a robber comes to the door and you go over there and you open the front door and you let him right in the door. That's what's taking place. That robber needed that person to disable the security system and let them walk right in the door. So that's how it works with these scammers. They're not going to be able to steal from you unless you let them remote into your computer. They're not going to be able to steal from you if you don't wire them money. They're not going to be able to do anything without your help. So at the end of the day, that two-punch has to be common sense. Question everything these days. And when you don't know, it's okay to put pause on that situation and call somebody like our computer store or a family member or anything like that, or a friend. Do your research online. Ask the tough question before engaging in this stuff, because you guys have all the power. You do not lose if you do not play. Keep that in mind. If you learn anything from this video, no, it doesn't have to be super complicated. Just say no. If you're unsure, contact us. We're located at 1190 East Highway 372, or give us a call, 775-990-8833. We're looking out for you guys. Contact us. We'll catch you on the next quick tutorial. Thanks so much for watching.
News 25 Weather Cam is brought to you by Lerner and Rowe Injury Attorney's Office in Pahrump. In a wreck, need a check? Call 702-877-1500.
That's the Lerner and Rowe weather cam, and we're a little deeper into the desert here, a little closer, looking at the summit of Mount Charleston outside of KPVM TV studios. Now, there is no snow up there, and we're still looking at seasonable temperatures. The full forecast is coming up in a bit.
Weather is sponsored by the Nevada Dairy Farmers and the Dairy Council of Nevada, sharing the love of all things dairy. Celebrate the best moments with milk. Milk the moment. And the weather is also brought to you by the Ponderosa Dairy, Nevada's largest dairy, fresh from our farm to your table.
Welcome back to News 25. I'm Chris Palermo, giving you the weather forecast from the anchor desk. And at Fernley, well, they hit 70 degrees today. Fallon, 69. Carson City, 72. Tonopah, low of 35 tonight. Tonopah, 69. Goldfield hit 70. They're mining 70 degrees. 37 down there for a low tonight. Beatty, they're getting ready for Beatty Days this weekend, kicking off. They're having a tricycle race this weekend, a high of 81. Hermosa, 84. Las Vegas, 81. Death Valley, still respectable with a high of 92 degrees. 60 degrees for a low in Death Valley tonight. Well, here it is. Your sun rose this morning, 7:04 a.m. It's 79 degrees right now in the region. And Pahrump, humidity 11%, wind direction southwesterly, 4 miles an hour, 82 for a high here in Pahrump. And like I said, we're just about 79 degrees in the area. And, well, kids, your sun is setting earlier and earlier, 5:51 p.m., 20% humidity, east-northeasterly wind direction, 4 miles an hour, and a low of 50 degrees. All right, we're coming up to a lot of events, and for Thirsty Thursday, 84 degrees and sunny. Friday, Halloween and Nevada Day. A lot of people have Nevada Day off. Go out and enjoy it. 84, sunny Saturday, 83. Sunday, 83 degrees, 82 on Monday and Tuesday. Looks to be 80. Next Wednesday, 79. Maybe a few clouds rolling in. 50s. And like I told you, we are kind of in our seasonable era right now. And we've got a lot of trunk or treats coming up. And of course, we told you all about them here. You can always go to News 25 Facebook page. I believe that Smith's has one 5 to 8 on Friday night. You get the kiddos ready for that. I think we're going to have just about perfect weather. That'll just about do it for all of us here tonight. Chris Palermo, News 25. Make it a great night.